But guys, let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? Let's start right off the top with Friday night, the first playoff game in the first round, December 19th. You've got number 8 Oklahoma hosting number 9 Alabama. The Tide are 1.5-point favorites. And Garrett, we'll give you first crack at this one. To set the stage, the talking points all of this week have been that Oklahoma is 2-0 against Kalen DeBoer. They upset the Tide, ruined their season last year in Norman. They then marched into Tuscaloosa, and despite losing like every statistical category save one, they were +3 in the turnover margin. And that was ultimately what carried them over the Tide about a month ago, 23-21. There's been some rumors that Ty Simpson might be dealing with a back injury. The message boards have been all aflutter in T-Town, while they're also preparing to get guys like Josh Cuevas back. Jam Miller is supposed to be healthy for this game. And then finally, guys, a stat that surprised me and was a good reminder, Oklahoma is still looking for their first ever CFP win. Now, they've never played in the 12-team format, but I think they made the field, 2 or 3 times when it was just 4 teams. They lost every time, and they had some classics, but they're over when it comes to the playoffs. So, Garrett, they're at home. They are a home dog. It feels like this is a dangerous spot for the Tide, maybe healthy, maybe not, against a team that they just haven't been able to quite knock off. Which way are you leaning to start the playoffs on Friday night?
I'm going to pick OU to win this one, and my subtitle to this is the SpongeBob, how many times do we need to teach you this lesson, old man? Okay, this is kind of where I fall on this one, and I literally just copy-pasted my notes from last time. I literally just took a screenshot of what my notes were from last time to sum those up a little bit when I nailed that pick. If there's a weakness, it's Alabama's run game. They can't run the football. OU's, allowed some stuff through the air, but again, Ty Simpson didn't really do that last time very effective. I mean, he was decent, but obviously didn't convert any of that into points that mattered. They're extremely good at getting to the quarterback, is Oklahoma. I just think that this is the same matchup again, and I think it'll play out about the same. The difference here is, well, what's changed, right? Like, what is really the difference now between, what we have now and last month? Well, Oklahoma's at home, so point back in the favor of the Sooners. I think John Mateers looked a little bit better. Now, pay no attention to those interceptions he threw against LSU. But I think he's looked a little bit. He moved the ball. He threw for over 300 yards in that game. So that's definitely, I think, a step in the right direction. Looks like R. Mason Thomas is going to be back for the Sooners. He's been practicing. He's been running around doing drills. Ty Simpson, maybe not 100% with a little bit of an injury. I just don't think that this is a good spot for Bama. You kind of mentioned it. I do think they get Jam Miller back. I think is what we had said, but it's sort of, at a certain point, like, he hasn't really run effectively either. So if Bama's going to go on the road and get it done, unlike they did last year, and if they're going to beat Oklahoma, unlike they did this year as well, I just don't think it's behind a pass first, pass only offense. So I think this is going to be another one that Oklahoma can kind of ground out a little bit. And I think as long as they can make this a game where, similar to last time, same exact formula, you let turnovers do some of the talking, you find 1 or 2 drives that you can grind out and punch it in for 7, and you just force them to drive the length of the field, play the punt game, ride your, electric kicker, right? We don't normally talk about the kicking game as being a factor here, but when you have Tate Sandell, that's an absolute factor. So I'm picking Oklahoma, and I'm riding the train with them. I'm going Boomer Sooner all the way.
Can we agree that the best, if both teams played their best football, I think we would all agree that Alabama should win. Am I right on that?
It's just not a good matchup for him. Like, I just don't think it's a great matchup. Like, if Alabama's playing at that level of passing offense that they had sort of earlier in the season, I think I agree with you, but it's slowed down a lot in the last month and a half. So maybe if we're saying at their absolute peak, there's that, but also, at their absolute peak, Oklahoma was playing a lot better on offense before Mateer went down. And so if you can get that version of Mateer back and you put together even a mediocre offense for Oklahoma to go along with as elite of a defense as they are, I just don't like the matchup for Alabama.
Yeah, I certainly agree given recent trends. I think where I fall in this game is between what my gut is telling me and what my football brain rubric is telling me. My gut is telling me that the best of Alabama is better than the best of Oklahoma, right? It's been a little bit of smoke and mirrors with John Mateer. Yes, the injury happened. We don't know exactly how that has affected the trajectory of his season. Maybe it's just more tape. Maybe it's the scheme. Maybe it truly has been that John Mateer's injury shook his confidence, tangibly affected him. But right now, today, I think the best of Alabama would absolutely beat the best of Oklahoma. The problem is that neither team is really trending in the right direction as like an elite football team. Oklahoma went 10-2. They finished the season on a winning streak. But I feel like Alabama should be the better team. And yet, the way that their offense has struggled to move the football, the way that their offense has struggled to keep possession, stay ahead of the chains, get into the end zone. I was talking with an Alabama fan earlier today that was basically saying, like, okay, I'm starting to believe. Give me the reality pill. Bring me down a little bit. I told him, look, Oklahoma is the seventh best scoring defense, and they're tied for first in sacks with 41 on the season. Georgia is a team that has not gotten after the passer all year long, and they made Alabama's offensive line look like Swiss cheese in the SEC championship game, right? And not just coming up the middle, not just the A gap, the B gap, off the edge, where Alabama had absolutely zero answer for that. Ty Simpson's running for his life. You throw in the fact that they cannot run the football and the fact that maybe Simpson's dealing with some sort of back injury. I don't like it. I'm holding my nose, but I'm going to take Oklahoma plus the 1.5. And that was the pick that I alluded to. I've already put out my bracket. I'm flipping that pick. I had Alabama winning that game. I'm going to take the Sooners with you, Garrett. I just feel like a better defense at home, and I hate the way that Alabama is trending. Now, that's one side of the coin. Trey, you have been the most accurate predictor of games head-to-head against the spread on this show this season. You and I were talking about this off air earlier today. You're going to take the Tide, so I'd like you to give us the case for Alabama.
Well, and neither of y'all, first, real quick, to add one more point to the Oklahoma side, neither of y'all mentioned the big elephant in the room, no pun intended, of Kalen DeBoer. Like, is he...
Sure.
Apparently they're talking about an extension. They have not finalized a deal. Do they get that done before this weekend and put those rumors to bed? I don't know if that really matters in this situation with the modern era of college football. We've talked about that a lot on the show. Don't know. But I have to think that Alabama can't let what happened last time happen again, right? Like, to me, you guys are talking about, Garrett, you mentioned the SpongeBob meme of how many times we have to teach you this lesson. Like, I'm thinking of that they can't keep getting away with this. Like, Oklahoma has won how many games this year, especially down the stretch, where they should not theoretically have won the game. The post-game win expectancy is not in Oklahoma's favor against Tennessee, against Alabama last time, against LSU and the season finale. This is what all had to go wrong. Everything you said was true, Mitch, about how uncomfortable Alabama was on offense, yet they still outgained the Sooners, like, by a ton. And all of this had to go wrong for Alabama to lose this game. They had to have Ty Simpson throw an interception. They had to have him fumble and lose the fumble. They had to have Ryan Williams fumble when he was in the open field. They had to have a kick blocked before halftime. And they had to give up a long punt return to set up a field goal. All that had to happen for Alabama to lose this game by 2 points last time. I know it was at home. I know it was injury situation was a little bit different, but I have struggled to buy in on this Oklahoma team all year. They've defied my expectations. I have not picked Oklahoma very accurately. I think I did pick them to beat Tennessee, but I've not picked Oklahoma very accurately. So it would not surprise me in the slightest if Oklahoma finds a way to win this game, especially at home. But I think Alabama's the better team. I think if you ask me which one of these two teams could have used the couple weeks off to get right, to set themselves up for a run, like if you made me put money on who could win an actual championship or get to a semifinal, it's Alabama. I'm not picking Oklahoma to get past the second round. Certainly, they might win this game, but I think Alabama's the better team. I think they get it done. I think they, as long as they're focused and not distracted from some outside noise that's legitimately real, I think they can win this game and potentially set themselves up for a very interesting Rose Bowl against Indiana.
I want to, if I can jump real quick, I'm with you on Alabama being like possibly the better team, but I also think that as much as Oklahoma's gotten away with some stuff this year, Alabama's gotten away with some stuff this year. I was kind of looking back through their scores. I'm like, am I crazy? Like, I feel like I haven't been impressed by Bama that much this year. Not only did obviously they got smoked in the SEC championship game, Iron Bowl was close. Okay, fine, whatever. It's the Iron Bowl. You know, they lost their game to Oklahoma. They kind of didn't really put LSU away. They escaped South Carolina. It was back against Tennessee was the last time they had like a dominant performance where they looked good. And that's against a Tennessee defense that doesn't look all that good either. Oh, yeah, and by the way, the week before that, it was a 3-point win against Missouri. They had that 3-point win against Georgia where Kirby Smart got caught, point chasing. And so I just kind of, I'm with you that I don't think Oklahoma's all that good. Like, I really don't think Oklahoma's all that good of a team. Neither of these teams can hold Indiana's jockstrap. Like, neither of them are going to be okay to do that. They're getting waxed next round anyways. But I again, it's like, for me, it's just a matchups thing of like, both of these teams are kind of meh. So like, which of these kind of meh teams do I like?
Neither offense has looked good outside of the Tennessee game. Like that's something that they both have in common.
So, I think this could be despite how lopsided a couple of the games could get on Saturday, I think this might be the ugliest game of the weekend. And by that I mean like 17 points might honestly win this, right? You get past 20, congratulations, welcome to the second round. I do not think the over-under is 40.5. I feel strangely confident in taking the under on that one. Like, if we get a 24-20 game, I honestly will be surprised. Just because I think both defenses are very, very solid. Oklahoma at home, that's their bread and butter, right? That defense against a banged up offense that has no rhythm right now, that scares me. As one Bama fan put it earlier today, I need Ryan Grubb to get cute again, because when he gets cute, that's when stuff works. If you need your offensive coordinator to get away from kind of a rhythmic offense and just start dialing up weird stuff, that's a scary spot to find yourself in. So we'll see. Friday night, standalone game. I wish it was the Texas A&M Miami game that was on Friday night, but all things considered, I think this should be a very competitive way to start our college football playoff.
You're not the only
this year.
one that wishes that, brother. You're not the only one that wishes that.
No kidding.